Welcome back to another fantastic episode of I'm going to talk and you're going to listen. We spend the first minute or two thanking all our engagement buddies from the last episode. So thank you, CDK, Analog Radio, my number one engagement buddy, and Jimmy, talking back and forth about Elon finally stepping down. Jimmy says his guess is that Orange Man may want to go with the Insurrection Act. So he thinks that we're close to martial law on the southern border. And I kind of thought some of that was already going. I think he's already deployed a lot of troops on the southern border. But maybe part two of that is actually starting an active war with the cartels. I know it takes the military a long time to gather the intelligence they need. If you've ever played the Tom Clancy books, I think it's Wildlands, where like you got to gather a lot of intel before you can go fight the cartels. And Jimmy responds back and says, I don't see why you'd order a report on whether or not to do something if you had no intention of doing it. I think he has intentions of doing a lot of these things, but he has people like Bondi working against him that is just bird dogging the whole thing. Kash Patel's finally getting going, and I also think that what is his name? Dan Bongino is getting a massive security detail. So I think he's about to do something too. I do think something really heavy security wise is about to happen. But I also know there has been tons of threats on the death threat meter across the board, from both the loony left and the MAGA cult. If you don't toe the MAGA line, all the MAGA grifters will suspiciously give you like the far left's death threats, almost copy paste. It's really weird. They say the most horrible things on the planet. When you piss the MAGA cult off, they say exactly the same things as the far left does, which again is why a lot of people think that is such a massive grift. Because you'll notice these people never post pictures of themselves. They never make up any of their own content. They all have very similar like AI caricatures that all look like 20-something-year-old gals. And they have just these lunatic, rabid fan bases, and they attack people doing real work, and then just the deluge of death threats come. That happened to Def Libertarian, and it happened more recently to Terrafall, who's a Portland reporter. She reported on some stuff, and some weird random grifter account used it as engagement bait. Then Tara started just getting like massive death threats from what I am assuming, if you don't catch my drift, are like fake MAGA grifter plants. Anyway, so I think Jimmy, I think Orange Man does intend on doing a lot of this stuff. I think that these psyop grifter infiltrators have reached a new level of intensity than they did 8 and even 12 years ago. where they used to like lightly infiltrate this stuff and slowly sway people, but now they're just rabidly just the most horrible, unspeakable you can think of things to say. These people will encourage, and they're worse to the gals than they are to the guys. They're horrible to the gals that speak up, which just strikes me of just leftist, women hate, women hatred. Tuck is responding to the FCC certifications for ham doxing you, and Tuck says, "Count me out. I have enough problems with my voter registration being public record." You're right. The voter registrations got hacked and doxed. I can't remember how long ago that was. I remember that affected me too, but I can't remember exactly what the fallout was. But I do remember. I can't remember if people came to my house or I started getting weird mail. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. And that's about it for my engagement from the last video. And so thank you y'all. I know that took me a little bit, but I like to respond in here because I don't know if y'all always see my responses or if the tone of my voice really comes across. So that is part one of the episode. Part two of the episode will dust up a little bit on Elon / Doge / Tesla stuff. Near me, there was a big bombing of a Tesla supercharger factory thingy mabob. They look like a giant power station. I mean, they're not a giant. They look like a moderately sized power station. They charge like the big banks of Tesla chargers. This thing is blown to smithereens. And according to P&W, Tesla, the FBI was there. This is a massive deal. And again, whoever is doing this is a massive escalation. There's still a piece of me that says like maybe they don't know how bad this is because you're messing with infrastructure at this point. Not only does this damage the grid, and it's crazy expensive and it's crazy dangerous, but this could mess up the grid of like the local area too. So it's kind of it's like a microgrid attack is what I would characterize this at, with potentially wider implications that I don't know about this specific area, but this is definitely what I would characterize as a microgrid attack, and I could definitely see the bad guys, the real bad guys, the people that are eventually going to destabilize the wider grid through cyber and physical means. I could definitely see them attacking the Tesla parts of the microgrid as like cover. So I hope the FBI finds these people and just completely locks them up for a very long time. I don't want to think that somebody can be so stupid to where they would think that this isn't serious and that this wouldn't have had repercussions. So I hope they find these people. I believe our number one, everyone says, what are you planning for when the shit hits the fan? Grid down through physical and cyber it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Like, this is what it's going to be. And Tesla seems like the perfect perfect cover story for it. Regarding the Tesla. Regarding the Doge, Elon's been really quiet, which is good. He's just been back to doing his one-word posts about nonsense. There's been a fork in the road 2.0, just like I predicted, and also like I predicted on the Reddit. Everybody is way more accepting of this fork because this fork is being done the right way. It's being done at the branch level instead of coming from OPM, even though it's exactly the same fork. Everybody in the Reddit land on Fed News is way more accepting of this, and a lot of them are openly saying they're taking the fork, which is good. That's part one. Part two is a lot of them were extremely resentful for the what they call the quote unquote hold the line folks. And I don't know if I tried to save a couple little tidbits so I could pull them out. Let's see if I don't know if I saved. Well, okay, the only one I saved is this person saying sound like the water found its level. And you can take that a couple different ways. You can take that to mean they found at which point people will break. But I look at it on this specific circumstance. I look at this glass half full and say, I think they found the level that's acceptable. I don't think they're scaring people into taking the fork. I think that it makes sense to people now because it was done at the executive level and communicated properly, and because funding, at least for a couple more weeks, funding is there, and also people are now acceptant that the rifs are actually coming. They should have seen that before, but they didn't. But for some reason, and I think it's because so many people are like, hold the line, hold the line, hold the line, and probably 90%, 95% of those hold the line people, I'm doing no more air quotes, have completely disappeared. And I think that hold the line thing was either a massive psyop or a massive cope. Because tons of people around here are actively saying we're taking the fork, which means they're taking a buyout program. And I think that's both because they think the probies are going to get let go again anyway, which I think in some cases they are, like the IRS, and I think in some cases they aren't. I don't know, maybe like DOD, I'm not sure. It depends if they were like net ads. Like the IRS was just 10,000 plus like net ads, and Department of Education. I don't know what they were thinking. That is just massive levels of copium, and a lot of them were laid off, and maybe through one of those corrupt district judges got back. And well, those people, now that they see the writings on the wall, see, there's no way that there's no world that exists where the probies stay, but people that are tenured get riffed. Like, those probies are going first. They're either going to get riffed or they're going to get reorged. And then what they do is they reduction in force, starting from like the lowest people on the totem pole or people without military preference, and then they work their way up. It's like a purely kind of like a merit-based system. It's like a point-based system. So the probies see the writing on the wall. they're taking the fork. Everybody that's close to retirement is taking the fork. Everybody that can eat it for a while and wants to ride this out is taking the fork. And for fork 2, and for a lot of reasons for them, it makes sense because they just extended the hiring freeze on federal agencies for another 3 months for some reason, probably to ride the rifs out, which makes sense. So the rifs are probably going to take about 3 months, which means I want to say either like February or March had the biggest layoffs since, I don't know, 08 or something like that. Massive layoffs. 300,000 people got laid off. Like some massive number. And I think a lot of the people that could take fork 2 were like, the job market. In fact, if you watch all of the job videos of all the I'm a real life recruiter, there's a bunch of those on YouTube, and they're all saying there are no jobs. And a lot of the people, even in Reddit, were like, the people that took the fork have all said they haven't been able to get jobs. And there's already been more big private side agencies that have been laying out people off since then, just massive layoffs. So all the people doing the fork 2 are like, well, if there's another 3-month federal hiring freeze, the fork is going to last until August or September or something. They're like, take the fork, ride it out, and then hopefully there will be jobs again. So it's kind of a calculated risk. A lot of the RIF people were saying they might only get a couple months from being RIFed. Now, the other way to look at it, if there's any federal people listening to this that are hiding and hope nobody figures out that they're Fed, because of how weird people act about that, or if you have any Fed family, if you do try to fork 2, which, depending on where you're at, you might have a couple more days, and they say that you're too critical to take the fork 2, then you're probably not going to get riffed. And I don't know that for sure, but that's kind of logically what I would say. And everybody who's not critical is probably gonna get to go fork 2ing, and in which case you made the right decision. You get 4 months of free money, 4 or 5 months of free money, while you either look for another job or ride this damn thing out. And then you can always come back to federal if you wanted. They're still going to be hiring in 3 months. They're just going to be hiring for different stuff. So, or maybe even it turns out your old org is okay and you can come back. Probably nobody's going to hear this in time, and probably none of you are Feds anyway, but this is what I've been reading, and it all makes sense. Out of all of this, though, I'll say this again, I find this so interesting, that besides a couple of toxic, violent psychopaths, which I don't know why they're not getting boot knocked for some of the things they're saying on here, all of the people saying to hold the line have vanished. That to me tells me that whole hold the line thing was a giant psyop. All those people have vaporized. Everybody here now is super supportive. They're telling everybody the right things finally, which is do the best for you and your family. Return to office. For a lot of places, they've already had to return to the office. For a lot of places, return to the office is imminent. A lot of people that have had to return to the office have said the environment, the facilities are disgusting and in disrepair and horrible. And unfortunately, I think they're blaming the wrong people for that, but whatever. The salty lefty loos sometimes just can't see their hand in front of their face sometimes. A lot of those buildings need to get shut down. they probably need to get condemned. And a lot of those people, I think, are coming back to the office isn't worth it. Some of these people are talking about 3-hour commutes each direction every day. It's like, if they haven't found a closer, if they've had so long to plan for return to office and they still haven't found closer offices for some of these people, or to just let them telework. Sometimes, the fork 2 is looking awfully good to them. You might go, well, just move. It's like, move closer to like a disgusting building in a crime-ridden cesspool of a city. That doesn't make sense. People moved out of the cities to be safe. So, and nobody, they're not paying enough to live in the cities anyway. The cities are horrendously expensive, and yeah, some people lost their jobs and moved out, but by and large, like, the value of houses in the cities haven't gone down that much, and they're still talking about maybe interest rates can go up some more, which means houses are still just getting more expensive. Meanwhile, all the boomers are sitting on, paid off houses till the end of time. They're not going to move, and people that bought in before 2020 aren't going to move, even though they paid double. That's still nothing compared to what their monthly payments would be now. I mean, you've got to have a dual income just to pay the mortgage. And they go, federal employees make so much money, when the average federal worker makes more than the average standard employed worker. But they never tell you, like, that shit must include, like, everybody at McDonald's. So it's like, of course someone who works for the federal government makes more than McDonald's. That's retarded. So, but they still don't make enough to work in the city, or to live in the city. The only people that make enough to live in the cities either already own their houses there, free interest rates, or they're already super rich. Like, that's it. So a lot of these people, instead of returning to the office, are just taking their fork, which means they get to work for, like, or they get to be paid 4 months for free while they sit, and hopefully this return to office thing blows over. And there was already rumblings where full-time come back to the office actually only means 2 or 3 days a week. Again, not even surprised. I haven't worked anywhere in almost 20 years that didn't have a remote work policy. It has nothing to do with the Rona. So if you think the government's going to go back to the office 5 days a week, you're high. In fact, surprisingly, a lot of the city workers are having even higher success rates of fighting off returning to the office. And everyone's like, yeah, we want them to come back. We want to tax the shit out of them. And we want them to subsidize all these poor small businesses that are just getting vandalized back to the Stone Age. Like, a couple more people shopping at these $20 cheeseburgers. Some of these places you go to, you can't even get service. They don't even serve food. When I go to the cities, I check things out. I do a little bit of surveillance and a little bit of recon, and you go into these. First of all, they're all ultra far left. So there's Free Palestine and trans flags and flat out commie propaganda. That you go in there and they're actively planning resistance protests, and you can't even get service. and they don't have food. It's unbelievable. And they want you to come back, and they want you to give these places money, and it's just like, this is literally like a far left cesspool. It's mind blowing. If you don't live there, and if you don't go there, you do not understand what it's like to, like, oh, you want to go get something to drink? Okay. No, never mind. This is just clearly a massive resistance stronghold. So you go across the street. Oh, it's like a big, big, big BLM mural. Oh, okay. Let's go this way. Oh, fentanyl zombie, fentanyl zombie, fentanyl zombie, tent, 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 garbage, 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 tarp, tarp, tarp. I'm sorry, but like going in the office to have your organic hallway conversation, because, you know, being in the office just better. It's not. It's not worth all that. And people just, people just running around screaming, raving, mad lunatics. You don't believe me? I've had to work in the city for so damn long, and it's been like that forever, ever since I've had to go down there. There are people that just walk down the street, and they are just screaming mad lunatics, completely out of their minds. But they're not breaking any laws, and they can't force them into rehab, because there's no laws saying that they can take these lunatics off the streets. And so they'll be sitting there, and they'll just scream at cars. They'll scream at lampposts. They'll scream at the parking garage. They'll scream in your face. They'll pretend to take swings at you. They'll run through traffic. It's totally lawless. It is not worth it. Oh, go in the office to have your organic hallway conversations. More gets done in the office. No, you know what happens? You talk about shit, and it doesn't get written down, and nothing gets decided. And you're still working from people with 5 different other remote offices, and 3 other agencies, and 3 other remote places, in 3 fucking time zones. Going to the office doesn't do anything, except there's no conference rooms. You gotta shit next to other people. There ain't no fucking food. There's a line out for the fucking microwaves. And you get to see a bunch of people that you can't stand, and none of them are fucking working. They're all socializing, just like they did before the Rona. Because these office jobs, they just attract people who just talk all day. And they go, oh, they'll burn themselves out. Eventually they'll go back to work. No. They walk to every single person in the office, and they say the same bullshit to every fucking person until they've more or less ran the clock out, and then they go home and they do it the next day. These people don't work. It's been like this forever. I worked on the private side in offices for 20 years. That's how it's like. You listen, nobody's fucking working. Why don't they fire them? I don't know. You think there's a lot of people that want to work? Not these people. Nobody fucking fires them. So don't tell me that things are better in the office. I don't know what fantasy land ever existed where, like, going in the office was ever of any value, of anything that couldn't have been done over the phone or over a phone call. I don't want to smell you. I don't want to see you. I don't want you to be able to just come to my desk and fucking interrupt me. I certainly don't like being followed around the fucking office. I don't like being followed into the bathroom. I don't like people coming into my conference room. It's just... It was bad before the Rona. It has gotten worse. because now there's a whole generation of people that don't understand the etiquette. So you're sitting there, you know, in the fucking public restroom trying to take shit. Some dude's moaning and groaning next to you because he's been home for 5 years. And I guess forgets in his, like, monkey brain that, like, everyone else in the fucking bathroom can hear him moaning and groaning over there as he takes his giant shit and he can't shit and he just farts. And it's like, dude, get the fuck out of here, man. What are you doing? This isn't your house, you fucking freak. I don't it's weird. Like, people shouldn't we should be done. We should be done with the offices. It is time to bulldoze them or turn them into residential or whatever it is they're going to do. But no, the only thing on the planet you need an office for is for a conference room and a whiteboard a couple times a year to have some offsites to where you can, like, work through some focused important stuff. Maybe 2, 3, 4 times a year max. Every day, what, you go into an office and do the same shit on your laptop that you're doing at home, except you lose 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep that, you know, you're spending stuck in traffic instead and wear and tear on your car. Cars have, like, doubled or tripled, and they won't just make bare bones vehicles for people to drive, and fuel is going up for some fucking reason. Like, they haven't deregulated vehicles to where you can get an affordable vehicle. So they have every stupid safety electronic bullshit thing on the planet that nobody fucking asked for. Like vehicles being able to slam the brakes on themselves, which is insane to me. Those stupid lights on the side of your mirrors that are ultra fucking distracting. These retarded gigantic infotainment panels that are just awful. It's like, you don't need that shit. Like, if you want us to commute again, bring back affordable entry level decent vehicles without all that shit on it. But they won't do it because the EPA was a fucking scam. And I hope they deregulate the EPA. You know, NHTSA doesn't do shit. These vehicles are driving around with forward-facing lights brighter than fucking stadium lighting. I don't get it. I don't understand this world. I don't understand. No, I do. I mean, it's progressivism. This is just progressivism in a nutshell. So I kind of got off on a giant tangenty rant there, but that kind of bundles up a lot of my frustrations lately. I feel like I maybe had another topic. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember if it was radios again. I feel like I've kind of beat the horse with radios. I'll say this again though, like, they just, I don't know what, doubled the tariffs with China. If you don't have a radio and a drone right now, you're going to be behind. And again, I suggest getting a 3D printer. I don't have a 3D printer in my shopping list because 3D printers on Amazon for some reason are like double or triple what they are. But if you go to Bamboo Labs, let's see what the prices of an entry level on Bamboo Labs is right now. Yeah, the A1. Oh, yeah, the A1 Mini is still $279. That's really fucking good. And then you can get you can upgrade to the AMS, which is like the four spool. It's like a four spool feeder for only $429. I think I'll throw that, even though I don't have a diddly do for that shopping list. I think I'm gonna throw the Bamboo Labs A1 Mini with the AWS in the shopping list anyway. I don't have an affiliate link for them, but you have no idea. Well, especially now that Temu may be toast, at least for a while, and you don't have any way of buying all the cheap little weird shit knickknacks you use. Um, an A1 Mini will pay for itself pretty quick, just making all the weird little knickknacks instead of you buying up from China or buying them from a printer farm somewhere. A lot of people are making printer farms these days, but I don't really know how to track down a printer farm. And I don't know why you would do that when you could just print your own shit unless you needed something to scale. A1 minis are really, really nice to print little knickknacks with. My wife uses it all the time and absolutely loves it. I've never quite seen her taking a liking to a crafty type of thing. She loves crafts, and I've still never seen her take a liking to something like this. Um, and I took just an immediate liking to the drone. Um, let's see if drones have gone up yet. I keep watching. I keep watching Amazon to see if the tariffs are gonna suddenly just jack everything through the roof. DJI Neos still haven't jumped. They're still $199 for the base and $289 for the three batteries. Um, I don't know exactly which day the tariffs are supposed to be popping in, and I don't really know what the exactly what the impact's going to be. I'm still confused, but definitely things are starting to creep up. The sales on Amazon seem to be done, and like I was looking at these knives, and they were $10 the other day. They shot up to 14, then they shot up to like 16, 15, 16 within a day. Um, it's interesting. Like, I always say this, especially with knives. If you have been sitting on a knife, there is never a better time to get the knife than right now. And I say that no matter when. It's always like right now. Because when things get really bad, knives double or triple, and then they just sell out because people with like fuck you amounts of money can easily still afford this shit when it's like triple the price. So, a knife for $10, a decent knife that is going to last you around the house and maybe outside a little bit for $10, you might get like three or four of them because those could double or triple and then just be non-existent. Um, Radios for like 25, $30, those are going to be a steal because they're going to be like $50, 60, 70, 80, 120, and then they're just going to be non-existent. This has happened before. It's going to happen again. Um, it might the ass might fall out of it again someday if the market gets oversaturated. But if there's like an axe you like, if there's like, if you've been looking at a Fleur, if you've been anything like that, grab it if you can. Yeah. Another weird thing. Well, we're almost done with winter, but another weird thing is like around winter time, uh, all the wool blankets disappear, all the wood stoves disappear. It's just like we really are like just one cow fart away from getting fucked on a lot of this stuff. And if there's something that you know you're gonna need, you just need to grab it. Make sure it works once, but stow it away. So, I've been setting up my solar setup and stuff, and it's like, oh shit, there's a couple more cables that I need to grab. I want to get like some Y splitters and stuff because I want to make sure that like all these little like, and I got some like radio connectors. They were only like a couple bucks. But like, you know, get your little radio connectors and bits and bobbles and things because you might have your radio and your cords and your antenna, and you might be missing like one little adapter. You might end up wanting 2 or 3 little adapters to set up different radios with different antennas. And oh yeah, this is what I was looking at. That's 85. Yeah, the cables, the the extension cables that I bought have already gone up like $5. And the thing is, like, I hate spending like $5 more for something. That shit kills me, especially when like they want to get you with tax too. And so like when something goes up like $5, you might think $5 is $5, but then you're like, oh, actually that's like a 10% increase or like a 20% increase. Like that's not good. That's not good. My friend taught me that. I took $20 out of an ATM once, and he's like, "How much did you just pay to take out that $20?" And I was like, $250 or something. He's like, "That's what he's saying." He's like, "That's 15%. You just lost like 15% off that transaction or something like that." I'm like, "Oh shit." And he goes, "At least take out 40 if you think you're going to use it for something." And I always thought about that. It's like if you're buying a $10 thing, or you know, and it goes up like $5, that just went up 50%. So like a knife that I was looking at went from $10 to $15. That just went up 50%. You might say $5 is $5, but that's fucking massive. Okay. I've probably lost everybody at this point. I think it's amazing. You watch crypto and you watch stocks go down, and then you watch the price of everything go up. And you may or may not be watching, interest rates and oh man. You look at your cell phone bill. Our cell phone bill's going up for some fucking reason. We don't even know why. Our car insurance is going up. We didn't even do anything. We barely even drive our cars, and our fucking car insurance is going up again. You've got to really pay attention to your money. You've really got to pay attention. We have a bunch of surprise medical insurance bills that tallied up to a lot of money just because the doctor's office coded something as surgery for some damn reason, and now we owe a lot of money. Because it like, oh, it doesn't hit your co-insurance or blah blah blah. And I used to have this saying a long time ago, fight for every dollar. And we're getting to that territory now. Everything's getting really tight. You got to be really strategic about what you buy. Buy smart things. Buy things that have multiple uses. You know, buy things that are going to last a while, that you're going to use for a lot of stuff. And prepping. That's just prepping in a nutshell. That's why I say buy medical, because you're going to use your medical shit no matter what. Someone could get an injury and it could take 6 months worth of gauze. Before that wound fully heals. You don't know. Um, buy radios that have multiple use cases. Like those 5RMs, they've got 1,000 channels, so you can do. I don't talk about the Gorilla's Guide to Baofeng enough, but like, if you want to know more uses to use your radios, like that shows you how to set them up as repeaters. It shows you how to do digital over analog. It talks about repeaters in there. Um, use the stuff that you buy to its maximum potential, like drones. Go get the SHTF tactical drone manual by Don Shift. It'll teach you how to get more use out of your drone. The Gorilla's Guide to Baofeng. You get more use out of your Baofengs. You're not you're getting more value from it. You're able to use it for more of its potential. It'd be like buying solar panels and just deciding you're not going to angle them to the sun every couple hours. Like, why would you do that? Or buying your knives and not sharpening them and maintaining them. Every couple knives you buy, you're gonna buy a good sharpener, not one of those V wedge ones. Buy a good sharpener. Buy some oil to maintain your knives with. Don't just buy a pistol once and shoot it and never clean it. Learn how to clean your pistol. Get a good firearms cleaning kit. Make sure that stuff's in good working order. You don't want to have to take your rifle out and find out that the freaking barrel's corroded because you're shooting shitty ammo through it and didn't clean the barrel out 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years. I mean, it's like shooting a modern firearm and trying to zero it and using shitty ammo. It's like when you go for real, your good ammo is going to be off because it's not zeroed on good ammo. I mean, it's like these are weird things to think about, but so many people plan and prep on the wrong stuff. A lot of it just has to do with money, though. But maintaining your stuff is really hard. Like I said, when we moved, a lot of my stuff with the older style of rechargeables was all dead. It was all toast. It wasn't coming back. I've had now 3 cases of Costco batteries go bad. That shit just pisses me off nonstop. I can't believe that happened. Still, other weird things like Walmart. Was it Ozark Trail? I was telling you guys about this a while ago. Walmart used to sell these really good Ozark Trail giant rechargeable batteries, flashlights for nothing. And I am so mad that we didn't buy more of them. They're cheap, but man, I'm like, these things are great. You live out in the middle of nowhere, these things are great. Is the same thing with what is let's see. I know one thing that you can really see if they shit the bed on is these ultra fire kind of El Cheapo Chinese flashlights. These kind of like knockoffs. No, these are still $25. They keep changing the what is that called? They keep changing the model numbers of them. But like, yeah. These ultrafires have gone massively up in price. They started. I got my first ultrafire for $14, $15. I got my first ultrafire for $15. I got my second ultrafire for $18. I got my third ultrafire for $26. So those have gone up $10. So they've gone up like what, 30, 40%, something like that. Same, slightly different model. They're really the same flashlight. They're just a rebranded generic, Chinese flashlight, ultrafire. I'm not giving shout outs for them or anything. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, they're okay. They're like super cheap parts, and it's one of those like throw one into everything kind of a deals. They're rechargeable, so in the cold and the heat, they're probably going to freak out. Blah blah blah. But I'm just telling you, like, it's so insane to me. In the Ozarks, I would say we're probably maybe a little bit better than those ultrafires, but the ultrafires are the perfect size for weapon mounts and backpacks and stuff. But the Ozarks were really good to just leave strategically laying around the house for like $5 a piece or something. You can't go wrong. And I wish we had just bought a whole case of them, but you don't know what you don't know. Whereas, like, if you want to get a surefire flashlight, which is what the ultrafire is obviously kind of like a knock on the surefires, those are $75. Like, that's what you're paying for an actual decent flashlight. That's another thing. Like, if you want a good flashlight, you're paying for it. You are paying for it. The Surefire Tactician's $160. Because if you're going to bet your life on something, it's got to be really good. But sometimes for just laying around the house, good enough's good enough. I always wanted a Tactician and never got one because I was like, this is insane. Insane price. But the thing is, like, if you're gonna bet your life on it, if you're gonna carry it everywhere and you want it to work every single time, you're gonna spend $150 for a flashlight. You're gonna spend $300 for a knife. I know it sounds crazy, but like, eventually you get to that point, especially like you're out in the out at night in the middle of nowhere and your flashlight fails. Does it matter that you only paid like $25 for it? Or like, you've got to use your knife or something and your knife just shatters. Like, does it matter that you paid a bargain price for that? That could have exploded in your face, or could have been a survival situation, and now you're just screwed. I'm curious if this tactician is the same tactician that James Yeager designed. I always thought this one was really cool. I know I'm off on a tangent, but wrapping the episode up, I kind of wanted to ended on a nice note. James Yeager, which was like a massive inspiration for me, designed like the first tactical flashlight, and he called it the Tactician. I don't know if. Oh yeah, yeah. This was the one that James Yeager made, the Tactician. The first tactical flashlight is just crazy, like a twisting tail cap that allows you to change the modes. The biggest bullshit, insane thing to me on the planet, and he explained all this. I'm like, he blazed the trail on so many things, and he was explaining like, if you're going to use your flashlight tactically, like, you just need the momentary, on off, or you need it to just be like on only. You don't need to be alternating through strobes and stuff. And he designed the Tactician, and that's just so damn cool. Happened to come across it on accident, looking at Surefire stuff. But guys, gals, if you're gonna trust your life on something, you're gonna need a good flashlight. Because if a $15 flashlight is a $25 flashlight, like those are good for just thrown in backpacks. But like for EDC, you need a flashlight that your life can depend on. And but you need to learn how to train and use. I know it sounds dumb, but like, oh well, I know how to use a flashlight. Like tactically, you don't, unless you've been doing CQB training. Um, a flashlight can be just such like a ludicrously insane force multiplier in CQB in just so many ways. Not to mention scaring deer away. But I was out of place, and I ended up doing vehicle recovery, tons of vehicles in the middle of the night, and I think I was one of only 2 or 3 people with flashlights. And that was back when I only carried a flashlight with one CR123 pool. I never made that mistake again. But I think it was a Surefire with like one CR123. I think it's in like the glove box. Still, I love that flashlight to death. And on one CR123, it lasted me in the freaking pouring rain through like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 vehicle recoveries with just like one CR123. And I remember driving home holding this flashlight going like, it sounds so stupid, but I was just like, thank God I was carrying this thing with me, and that I didn't bitch out, and I had a good flashlight. And then I immediately bought a Surefire with 2 CR123s, because you don't trust your life to a flashlight with 18650s for just a lot of reasons. So anyway, I know this episode was kind of all over the place. I didn't kind of have a set topic. I kind of just had like an overall theme of preparedness, and I'm not trying to shill any certain product. It's just that the overall theme of like, there's still time. Get the things you need. I don't know which day all this shit's gonna double or triple, but I can tell you, just randomly pulling up my Amazon, that things are going up like 20, 30, 40, 50%. So not everything is, and I don't know why necessarily. Maybe some people have got around it with having like American distributors. I'm not sure. Some places, maybe it comes from somewhere where they kind of struck a little bit of a bargain to get their tariffs knocked down. But yeah, you need to get the things that you're going to get. Get the things that you're going to get. That you're going to trust yours and your family's life on. Just for fun, I'll throw the Tactician in my shopping list. But there's other Surefires. Surefire is the only flashlight I will really trust my life with. I know there's a couple other good ones out there, but that's the one that I trust my life with. So, anywho, we're at an hour, and I'm going to chop it here and updating the shopping list really quick. Thank you for the few folks that bought using my links. I'll probably never get paid because I got to get like $100, which at this rate would take about 1 billion years. But I'll just say again, it makes me feel good because it makes me feel like I'm not doing this shit for free and just giving money to all these places. That sounds kind of dumb, but it makes me feel like my time is worth something. And you all do a really good job at that. But as a small YouTube creator, none of these other places do. So, thank you. Thank you for using my links. I'm going to throw the A1 Mini with the AWS, the AMS in there. I don't get any money from that, but I realized accidentally that I've been telling you guys about it, and forgot to put the link in. But yeah, I bet you anything I'm going to go plug this into Amazon. I bet you it's going to be a fortune. No, it's not even for sale. It's not even for sale. Some weird China copy knockoff garbage that I don't recognize. So, yeah, I don't know. But good. That'll just remind you to not buy your 3D printer off Amazon. Also say Bamboo Labs ships their stuff in amazing packaging, and everything comes immaculately if you do decide to get a 3D printer. So I'll throw that link in there. And I hope this helps somebody. I'll do a really, this is getting like to be a long episode, but I'll really quick. My fourth album is still roughly about halfway done. I've had to take a break on it, but I'm going to pick it back up. I'm finishing the cover updates to my book cover, and I'm going to send that back for print attempt number 2 this weekend. I don't even know if anyone likes or cares or wants to support any of my book stuff anymore. I feel like I unfortunately just missed the boat on all that, but story of my life. But I'm still going to see this through and not stop like I did on my webcomics. Even though I stopped for the right reasons, I don't want to stop this time. A lot of people believed in me, and I don't want to leave them hanging, even though they probably all have evaporated and forgotten about me. I still want to finish strong, and I want to do right by the artist that has helped me get this far. So I'm hoping this next version of the art book has really good contrast. Even if nobody ever buys it, I want it to be something that I'm proud of. and something the artist can be proud of too. So I'm like 99% done with the fixing the cover, and so I'm going to send that out to print this weekend. I'm going to try to finish the album this weekend too, and then I'm going to go right back to work on Fanny 2, because I at least want to finish that book, even if I don't ever write any more P&W Affliction ever again. Fanny 2 is just, it helps wrap up a couple things. It helps. It has some valid story to it. Whereas like Ghost Company 3 someday, like maybe not so much. 2 was supposed to be about drone stuff. It didn't quite get there. It ended up being more of a character story about what it means to have like a single point of failure in a group, and it's not always who you think it is. I really wanted 3 to be about the team splitting apart and what it's like to just rely on only drones and not people anymore. I think there's a really compelling story to be told there. But I need a couple things to really work out right before I commit to another story after Fanny 2. So that'll wrap up the album, the art book, Fanny 2. I'm working on a little 3D printed thing in case anyone ever orders anything from me again, so I have a knick-knack to give away. The coffee mug thing is on hiatus. Nobody wanted to help, comp me the rest of the stuff to get it. It's insanely expensive, and I would have put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in it for everybody to just kind of cut me loose and stop supporting me. So this isn't me whining about money, but the coffee page has been dead for a really long time, and that's what was funding me working on all the coffee mug stuff. So I think a lot of people are really suffering and really struggling right now, and that's when all of the support money dries up. That's just the way it is. And unfortunately, when that happens, that means that my spending has to go down on these projects too, and I have to spend time on other things that may make money. So, but I'm still going to finish the album, the art book, and Fanny 2. And if somehow I miraculously get a ton of support, then great. But right now, I only have a handful of creators supporting me, and they're supporting the bunker codes, which is great. And the bunker codes is really what's driving everything right now. And so I have to figure out how to kind of repivot around that a little bit. I don't know if that means making a bunker codes 2 or what. I kind of don't want to write a bunker codes 2 because I have a whole stack of prepper books right here that are way better than anything I could ever write, which is why I've been promoting a lot of other prepper books. I can't get then any of them to promote me, but at least I can try to bundle the universe together somehow until I build up the courage to talk to them. But I think the bunker codes just has a big marketing problem. I think I need to talk to Amazon and see if I can slightly change the name of bunker codes so it's like almost what I named the collector's edition, which is a newbie how-to prepper guide instead of a beginner's guide to bunkers. That was bunker codes was a great name, but a beginner's guide to bunkers is not what I should have called it. I don't know. So yeah, we're talking in extended mode now. So if you stayed here, great. This is just me kind of lamenting. My book's been published and I can't change the subtitle. And the original title of Bunker Codes was supposed to be the bunker buddy book or something like that. The bunker buddy book. It was supposed to be like your bunker buddy. And I didn't know what to name the subtitle. And it should have been like your bunker companion or something like that. And it just I've got a marketing problem, and I don't know. I don't think says the features can't be updated unless you publish the book as a new title from your KDP bookshelf. And so I'd have to republish the book as a new title, and then I would lose, my 6 reviews that I worked just so hard on. So I guess if you're out there and you've read the bunker codes, could you tell me if you think the name is actually okay? The Beginner's Guide to Bunkers. It's supposed to be like a little bunker companion book. I mean, all the feedback from it's been overwhelmingly good. Most of the feedback from P&W Affliction's been overwhelmingly good too, but I need to figure out where to spend my time because I need to generate more side income, as I know everybody does now. So maybe you could help me out down in the chat if you've read Bunker Codes. Go leave it a review if you can. So and tell me what's something I could do that you may consider supporting if you're not really into what I've been working on so far, or if you haven't been to my coffee page, if there's things that you'd like me to add to my coffee page. I have a buy me a coffee. Maybe I'll throw that down in the shopping list. Yeah. Shoot. Sorry I went so long. It's kind of housekeeping stuff. So I'm not whining for money. I'm just kind of throwing this all out to the universe in case anybody has any ideas. Sometimes when I throw things out to the universe, sometimes it throws something back and helps scoot me and either keep going the same direction or scoots me in another direction. So I'm at one of those crossroads where I'm wrapping up this experiment. So yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye. Leave us alone. We're just fine.
Wanted to work for public service to try to make a difference. I moved out of the cities because it got too dangerous. I swore an oath to uphold and protect. Then I randomly got told if I don't come back, it's my last check. We work from home just fine. Our farm is an office in the spruce and pines. Did y'all forget that it's conservatives living in rural areas? Did y'all forget it's mostly lefties left in the cities? don't forget that it's conservatives living in rural areas. Don't forget it's mostly lefties staying in the cities. How the hell do you expect to drain the swamp if you force everyone back? The idiots still live there while we all move down. So race to the bottom and you can't help but see. If you look, the cities are still circling the drain. The situation is cooked. The only way is to leave and leave the cities to their fate. But instead you want everyone back blind in my head. We work from home just fine. Our farm is an office in the spruce and pines. Did y'all forget that it's conservatives living in rural areas? Did y'all forget it's mostly lefty shitting in the cities? How the hell do you expect to drain the swamp if you force everyone back? The idiots still live there while we all move down.
Decentralize. Move offices to the rural areas. Make the rural areas vibrant with jobs again.
Then you'll have the conservative servants. That's your why you keep trying the same things, and it's acting death where we fall. Strong as fall. Like it's fun, but it isn't the definition of insanity. And it's not good. Did y'all forget that it's conservatives living in rural areas? Did y'all forget it's mostly lefties left living in the cities? How the hell do you expect to drain the swamp if you force everyone back? The idiots still live there while we all move down. So we don't get attacked. So just let us work from home. We're doing just